This is Professor Pelton. This is Algebra 2, Chapter 5, Section 3. This is the fourth part of the video. Graphing parabolas and circles, which are relations because they don't pass the vertical line test. So in each of these cases, we'll get multiple outputs per input in a lot of cases. So we'll scroll down the best we can here. Okay, you have room below. I'm going to have to erase some of my stuff as I go. So I have 1/2 y squared equals x. So solve for y times 2 on both sides. So y squared equals 2x. And then we'll square root both sides. So those square root will cancel a square. So y equals plus or minus root 2x. Okay. So we're even roots have a plus or minus. So if you need to, you can do an xy table. And just use a little common sense here about what to pick. Actually, I'm going to move that over a little bit. Leave myself some room. You have room below. I do not because I can't scroll down. Okay, so make an XY table. And we'll think about what to plug in. So as we discussed earlier, pick A, things that work, and B, things that are easy. So I cannot pick negative numbers because if I pick a negative number like -1, that's 2 times -1 square rooted. That's the square root of -2. You can't do negative square roots. That's not going to work nicely. Okay, so pick things that you can actually do that work out nicely. So think about first off, what are the easy square roots that you can do when you're in third and fourth grade? I can do the square root of 0, I can do the square root of 1, I can do the square root of 4, I can do the square root of 9, 16, so on and so forth, right? Well, how do I get 0? Plug in 0. Square root of 0 is 0. How do I get 1? Well, I can plug in a half. I really don't want to do that. I can plug a 2 in to get 4, right? And the square root of 4 is 2. But is it though? But this is plus or minus here, right? So this is plus or minus 2 and plus or minus 0, which will make a difference on 0. All right. How do I get 9? Well, I have to put in like 4.5, correct? All right. So if I put in 4.5, I put in 4.5, I'll get 9. Square root of 9 is 3. If I put in 8, that'll give me 16. Square root of 16 is 4. You can keep going, but it's not necessary. So at 0, I'm at plus or minus 0, which is 0. At 2, I'm at positive 2 and negative 2. At 4.5, 1, 2, 3, 4.5, I'm at 1, 2, 3, and negative 3. And at 8, I'm at 1, 2, 3, 4, and negative 4. So as we thought, it's not a function, doesn't pass the vertical line test. It's a relation, as it says. We get our sideways parabola, which we had done in prior chapters. So the domain, it starts at 0 and goes forever to the right. So you can get 0, hence the blocks. But up and down, it goes forever up and forever down. Okay. Okay, the next one, if you have two squares, it's going to be a circle or an ellipse. In this case, it happens to be a circle. So I'll solve for y. X squared plus y squared equals 16. So I'll subtract x squared. So I get y squared equals 16 minus x squared. And we'll square root. So y equals, even root is plus or minus 16 minus x squared. So again, make yourself a table of values, x and y. So what are some easy things to get? Well, these are the easy square roots to get. So how do I get 0? Well, 16 minus 16 would be 0, right? So the question is, what do you plug in for this x to get that? Well, another 4 would work, right? So if I plug in 4, that'd be 16 minus 4 squared. That'd be 0, right? Also, if I plugged in negative 4 squared will also give me the 16, which will give me 0. So we need one more to actually make this work. What if I plugged in 0? Well, either way, it's going to be 16 minus 0. The square root of 16 is plus or minus 4, right? From the plus or minus all the way down. Although plus or minus doesn't make any difference on the zeros. So the first point, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. 1, 2, 3, negative 4, 0. And at 0, I'm at positive 4. Whoops. And I'm at 1, 2, 3, negative 4. So there is our circle with my C minus art skills. So we go from -4 to 4 left and right with boxes because we could actually get there. And +4 to -4 left to right for up and down range. Okay, pause the video, go to the next page, try these student problems. Okay, so we'll solve for y. So -4y squared equals x plus 1. We'll divide by -4. So y squared equals x plus 1 over -4. We'll square root both sides. So y equals plus or minus the square root of x plus 1 over -4. So we need to make a table of values of things that actually work out nicely. So the question is, how do I get 0, 1, 4, 9, 16, 25, and other easy roots that we want to do? Well, if we think about it for a second, x plus 1 over -4, how do you get 0? Well, I multiply by -4 on both sides. X plus 1 equals 0. So therefore x is -1. Well, plug in -1. What do you get? -1 plus 1 is 0, divided by -4 is 0. So I get plus or minus 0. Okay, what are other ones that are easy to get? Well, what about how do you get 1? How do you get 1? I can do square root of 1, can't I? Times by -4 on both sides. Cancel, cancel. X plus 1 equals -4, and we'll minus 1, minus 1. X is -5. If I plug in -5, what do I get? -5 plus 1 over -4. That's -4 over -4, which is +1. Square root of that is plus or minus 1. Okay. What else could we get here? 4, would that be easy? And we can try 4, I guess. Okay. So how do you get 4? Times it by -4 on both sides. So x plus 1 equals -16 minus 1. I get x equals -17. Right, so I plug in -17. I get -16 over -4, which is +4. Square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. That's not going to fit in the graph, but that's fine. So at -1, I'm at 0. At -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm at 1 and -1. And then somewhere out here at -17, I'm at 2 and -2, which is really irrelevant because it's supposed to be a parabola anyways. There's only 1 squared. So domain-wise, I go to -infinity, but I can only go up to a +1. I'm sorry, -1, sorry, left to right. And then as far as up and down, it's going forever up and down, just very, very slowly. Okay, let's look at the circle one. So x squared plus y squared is 25. So if I subtract, y squared equals 25 minus x squared. Or if I square root, y equals plus or minus the square root of 25 minus x squared. So think of the easy things that actually work that go in. So if I plug in, let's see, 0, that's going to give me 25 minus 0 squared. So square root of 25 is plus or minus 5. Also, what's going to work out here? What if I plug in 5? If I plug in 5, it's going to give me plus or minus 0. If I plug in -5, that's still going to cancel. Give me plus or minus 0, right? Because if you square negative, you get positive. So 25 minus 25. So at 0, I get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and -5. And then at 5, I get 0. And at -5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I get 0 for our circle. So our domain and range is -5 to 5 in all directions inclusively. Therefore, we need the brackets. That is the end of part 4.